I've been trying to figure out how to make this video for a while. It's like I'm trying to process the very title of this video, which is whether or not I could be bipolar. I've been running a mental health channel on YouTube for a long time, and I know I suffer from depression and anxiety. I know depression is an aspect of bipolar disorder, but I also know that bipolar disorder entails mania. I don't think I'm bipolar 1 because I don't think I've ever experienced full-blown mania. Another thing that's confusing about the whole prospect of being bipolar is that they say the mania or the hypomanic state, which is bipolar 2, which is what has been suggested for me, it can masquerade as happiness. So I feel like a lot of people could fall under that category. However, I've had a lot of people over the time I've had this channel, which of course this channel started because I had a big mental breakdown in 2011. I say that a lot because I just feel like there's new people and I just want people to understand my background so there's context to the current, present day. I've heard people bring up that I could be bipolar before, but I never took it serious. But what I have definitely become aware of, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that I cannot hold a stable mind state. You know, before, when I would get depressed and hold on to depression, you know, I had a clinical treatment-resistant depression, but after that, I would have these little stretches of feeling okay, stable, I like to call it, but then I would lose it, and there was always a reason in my mind. I always had an explanation, something plausible, tangible. I could attribute my crash to untreated alcoholism, poor diet, medication withdrawal, life circumstance, whatever. But the longer time has gone by, the more things we have tried, the less excuses I have, and the more confusion I have regarding why I can't hold on to an even mood. I have some people that follow this channel that I swear, I truly believe you guys know me better than I know myself, because you see me from a different perspective, and you see me over time, and I don't rewatch my videos almost ever. I really don't. And so you see my body language and how it changes, my appearance. You just, what am I trying to say? My demeanor, you know, you guys can observe me objectively in a way that I can't necessarily observe myself. And so I've been told enough times by some of you that I could be bipolar because I seem like I'm doing great in some videos and then doing really terrible in others. And at first I was just like, that's just life, you know, people are just up and down. But I've never, ever held on to a positive state of mind or an even state of mind where I didn't have anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, depersonalization. I've never held on to it longer than about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the last 4 years. And I spend the vast majority of the time with depressive symptoms, hopeless feelings, despair, and anxiety, you know. And so I guess this last crash from about a month ago spooked me, and it's spooking me more than most crashes have ever spooked me, even though I'm very accustomed to them, because I don't have my reason. My diet's never been so good. I've never been in such good shape. I'm treating my alcoholism with 12-step programs, work with a sponsor, I have a service position, I'm going to meetings, I'm doing what's suggested. I see a doctor on a pretty regular basis. She's not a mental health provider, but I see a doctor on a pretty regular basis. I have good sleep habits, good lifestyle habits in terms of being conducive towards maintaining a good mental health. I've got friends, I got family, I don't do drugs, I don't drink. My self-care is through the roof. What I'm trying to say in so many words is that I've never done more for my mental health than I'm doing now. I've addressed my low testosterone, my hypothyroidism, I supplement properly. I'm not the poster child, but for an average guy doing my best, I feel like I do a pretty good job, and yet I've been really depressed this last month after having the best 2 weeks I've ever had, and I documented that on this channel. And don't think that shit doesn't get a little embarrassing for me. I mean, I'm more interested in being authentic and transparent and honest than anything, and I'll continue to do that. I think that's something that keeps us connected. But it's embarrassing to be doing so well for a couple weeks, like I was literally just a few weeks ago, my best 2-week stretch. I think I made a video saying my best week ever, and then have one of the worst months I've had in so long with nothing major triggering it. And so then again, all the comments, not all, but the comments start rolling in, I think you're bipolar, and I start wondering. And so I went and saw my doctor, and I said, like, is that a possibility in your mind? And she thinks it is, for once. Not bipolar 1, but bipolar 2. And so she prescribed me lithium. Is it lithium? I think it's lithium. It's a mood stabilizer. If I've got that twisted, I apologize. But whatever the standard, most often prescribed treatment is for bipolar 2 in the last 60 years, which I think is lithium, that's what she prescribed me. And I've been afraid to take it, even though it seems very reasonable. So I reached back out to my old psychiatrist, Dr. James Powers, and even though I haven't seen him for a long time, I reached out to him, and he said he's willing to see me, and I was really grateful. And so I have an appointment with him in like 10 days. I'm going to hold off on the lithium until then. I would love to hear his perspective, just chat with him about what's going on, but I have a decision to make. You know, the whole, do you take psych meds, do you not? It's a big decision. It's something that I've battled constantly ever since I had my breakdown. You know, and at times I've been on psych meds, but I haven't been on them for a very, very long time, and I'm scared, and I'm frustrated, and I'm at a loss because I didn't feel like this was supposed to be my life anymore, you know, and let me be clear, I'm grateful, and I'm blessed, and I've made so much progress, but these random drop kick feelings where I just get booted into misery, right? I mean, I've been struggling to get out of bed. I've been fantasizing about suicide again all the time. Very lethargic feeling. Not true, you know, textbook lethargy, but fatigue and despair and exhaustion, you know, and so an obsession, tons of rumination, all of which are symptoms of bipolar 2, but they're also symptoms of depression. And I keep thinking I'm going to slide out, you know, and then I can recalibrate, refuel, which I need. And anyone who understands mood disorders, like, you need a few good days just to reboot you. I mean, I've been like hiding from the camera for the first time in a long time. If anyone follows my channel, you know my content's gone down because I'm just like tripping out right now. I'm like, what the fuck is happening this time? What's happening this time? But I'm going to see my psychiatrist, and I have to make that decision. Do I go the psych meds route? The reason I had my mental breakdown, beyond being vulnerable to it, untreated alcoholism and a history of anxiety, but low-grade, mild anxiety and depression, I had a paradoxical reaction, which means I took a medication 4 years ago, and I had the very rare reaction to it, and it made me horribly depressed, suicidal, lost a bunch of weight. I've said this before. Something happened, and I got fucked up. It took me 1.5 years just to even be a little bit less fucked up. And I almost didn't survive it, and I had my shock therapies, and I had my hospitalization. So now I go back to like the worst case scenario. I catastrophize, because if I do have bipolar 2, and that's really what's next, then I should be treating it. You know, and when I'm doing all the things in my power, not literally everything humanly possible, but many of the things that are suggested for someone to recover from depression naturally, if they're not working, I'm still feeling the way I'm feeling, despite I feel like having a naturally positive disposition in my past, medication is what they suggest. And I'm catastrophizing that I'll take medication and something bad will happen to me and I'm going to die. But I know I can't sit here and think about suicide every day, and life's not supposed to feel this difficult. There's a biochemical issue in here. I did some testing for my neurotransmitters. I never shared with you guys, you know, formally. I didn't like show you paperwork, but I told you about it, or at least I think I did. And my serotonin, my norepinephrine, and my dopamine were really low. Really, really low. It's something you can now test, and mine were really, really low. Those are all things that SSRIs and SNRIs are supposed to help. I understand that lithium is a mood stabilizer, but it's supposed to create like a ceiling, right? Supposed to bring up the bottoms and keep you from hypomania, but I'm just like, I never really feel consistently upbeat. I'm just okay 1 second and down the next. This is where I'm at today. This is what's kept me struggling to put out content right now. I've continued to live my life the best of my ability. I'm going to, you know, I've gone to work, but I've had to struggle. I've done my exercising and my training, but I've struggled through it. And social time right now is a struggle. And there's a lot of this, just putting on a good face and trying to keep the faith and lean on you guys for support and friends and family. Not overreact, but not just sit here idle and just assume that this is okay. It might not be what I want it to be, but it is what it is, and I just needed to share that with you. I feel better having said it. You guys are like my family. So that might sound weird to some of you, but I've been making videos and sharing my life to the best of my ability for years now, and I haven't been able to make a video this week because I'm just feeling fucked up and scared. So we're going to take it a day at a time. I guess that's all I have to say. I just want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you in advance for sharing your experience, strength, and hope with me. It means a lot to me. You guys have saved my ass. I always say this, and I always will say this. I get more out of this than you could ever possibly get from me. And I'm grateful for your experience. And you guys accept me, the majority of you. You let me be okay when I'm okay and broken when I'm broken. And I don't know why I'm so often broken, but I'm going to keep doing my best to work it out. And that's all any of us can do. So I will, of course, keep you posted. I'm going to try my best to put out as much content as I can in the midst of this, but just know that I appreciate you. I just still have my weekly weigh-in videos coming up on Sunday. I've got all these video ideas, but I'm struggling to get out of bed right now, struggling to do anything. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next video.